All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris Unholy Jesus. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to clap. My bad. Oh. Thank you.
Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tuesday. We are back on Tuesday, which to me is the best day for podcasts.
I didn't want to change it, but school was whipping my ass, man.
It's all good. I'm going to cherish these Tuesdays for these podcasts. And you know the crazy thing? Like, usually I do like half my chores on Tuesday and Wednesday, so I can like get ready for podcast Wednesday. But now we do it on Tuesday. I took care of every chore on today.
Nice.
I mean, I ain't got shit to do tomorrow besides working on the podcast edits.
So working on a podcast and being Cambodian. That's the only thing. Two things I got to do.
That's the only two things I got to do. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. This is episode 224. Before we get started, if you guys want to get some official Media Hijack t-shirts like this one, head over to the MediaHijack.com. I know Chris got his on. And grab you some official Media Hijack t-shirts. And if you guys want to catch us live, we are here every Tuesday now at 6 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/MediaHijack. And if you guys want to catch the replay for this live Twitch video, you can head over to our YouTube channel. We post the videos live. I mean, not live, but the following day. And yeah, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Give us that 5-star frog splash. All right, let's get started. So today we got a few topics for you guys. I got some fun ones later, and I'm sure Chris got some good ones. But our first topic for the night, we're going to be talking about the Annabelle doll that used to be out there in Connecticut, and now she's going on tour, and she's causing chaos in New Orleans. You guys all heard about this, right, in social media? Like, it's like the big buzz, like if your algorithm is set to haunted and stuff.
Hell yeah, burnt that shit to the ground.
Okay,
and
so
also too,
wait, go ahead.
Also too, in Louisiana, did you hear about those escaped convicts? Those 11 escaped convicts?
Yeah,
we're
all going to talk about that. It's all, I guess, tied in, but I don't know. Coincidence.
All right.
But okay, let's get started with the real Annabelle doll. So back in the 1970s, a nursing student received a doll as a gift. Soon after she got the doll, she and her roommate began noticing strange shit happening all around like her bedroom. And like the dolls, oh shit. Okay, so the doll would change position. They're like, hey, I don't remember putting that doll in that position. And every night it would appear like in like different rooms every night. So they're like, who's moving this doll? Because it ain't me. It ain't Chris. And so we're like, who's moving it? And then on top of that, they said this doll was writing notes. And they were reading these notes, and the doll would leave handwritten notes that says, help us. Like, us? Is there more than one spirit stuck in this doll?
Oh.
So they took the doll to like a psychic medium, right? And then the woman told that the doll was possessed by spirits and not a young girl named Annabelle. Because like the story was, they said that it got possessed by a girl named Annabelle Higgins.
Okay.
But then the psychic was like, nah, this is not possessed by like a little girl. It's possessed by demons. So, you know, like if you heard a psychic medium tell you like your toy is possessed by a demon, what would your reaction be?
Oh man, we selling that shit to the Goodwill. I'm not even selling it. We're going to just give it to the Goodwill or burn it in the fire.
Goodwill buy stuff. You just got to give it to them.
You got to hand to them. Like, hey, is it clean? Is it not broken? Cool, we'll take it. Yeah, I mean, but so I wouldn't want to throw it into like a fire or like try to destroy it, because in the movie Hereditary, they tried that move too, where they tried to burn like a cursed object, and the person that thought it was gonna burn something, they got set on fire instead. So it was like, maybe we should just sold it, bro. You know, Goodwill.
It might backfire, dude. Because I hear a lot of stories about that when they come across like something evil, like for example, like a Ouija board. And they're playing with the Ouija board and like, man, this Ouija board is so crazy. Like all this weird shit is happening around the house. So the first thing to do is like, all right, we're going to burn it. And then all this chaos started happening. Like it's even worse.
Right.
And then it shows up back in their house.
right? Like nothing happened.
Yeah, I heard so many stories like that. I don't know how true is that. Like, how often did that happen? Or people just creating like these big fish stories, man. Especially like back in the days where there's no internet to verify nothing.
Nah, it's like a person's word was all they had.
Yeah, that's how they create all these crazy stories back then. And then me as a kid, I would listen to it and I'm like, damn, that's scary as fuck. And I would have like nightmares about it. But I had no idea it was real or not. I just heard somebody on the playground talk about it.
All right, I had to wait till like the internet to find out. I was like, oh, that shit was nothing.
Yeah, like that shit was bullshit the whole time. Candyman was just, it was nothing.
Right, like when I was a kid, and back in the early days when I was like living in Baltimore, so I was like probably like 5 or 6. My parents, especially my dad in particular, used to always tell me, "Hey, there's this guy running around. He kidnaps kids, and his name's Mr. Nobody." And I used to believe that shit so much. So when I got older, the invention of the internet, I was like, "Mr. Nobody, Baltimore," and I'm like, "Motherfucker never even existed." Listen, he never existed at all.
Ruined
So
like your whole childhood right there.
yeah, man, I
Can't
was like,
trust nobody. I remember
I was like,
like I told you I almost got kidnapped one time. I did, right?
think so.
I almost got
At
kidnapped by
school?
like a Mexican guy. Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
And then in my head, I don't know. Like I'm thinking about it now, but I think in my head at that time, I wanted to be kidnapped because I was like, they're gonna give you all this
Why?
candy, you know? Yeah, but I didn't think ahead. You know, I didn't think like, oh, the torture and stuff. Like as a kid, I was like, oh, they're gonna give you a whole bunch of shit, and you're probably gonna live in a new house.
He was like, "Oh, he probably got Mexican candy."
Yeah, I was like, you got that chili powder, that Lucas
Right?
chili powder. Come on.
It's like this dude's about to mess my stomach up in more
Yeah,
than
but
one way.
back to the story before we get all derailed.
Right.
All right, so the psychic medium, right? They said that this demon in the doll pretended to be like an innocent soul of a child, so it's trying to gain trust of like whoever has the doll in custody. So they're trying to, cause she said the demon didn't want to be possessing like a doll. It wanted to possess a human body. That's what the medium said. That's
Okay.
to me that sounds crazy. Even if the medium told me that, I'm like, oh, you full of shit.
Like,
I
show
wouldn't
me.
believe that.
Yeah, it'd be hard to believe. I would believe more that the house was haunted itself than the damn doll, like a singular object.
I was like, how do you know like the like that this demon want to do that? And how do you even know it's a demon? Right?
Yeah, because I never seen none of the Annabelle movies at all. I don't follow the Conjuring series at all, so I'm not sure what the lore is behind that. But uh, uh, I'm assuming they maybe have communicated with the doll at some point. I heard multiple voices. Because there have been times when people have been possessed, and it's been like, oh, and they try to perform an exorcism on these people, and they're like, oh, there's two different voices coming out of them, and it ain't the person that's the body that's supposed to be belonging to the, to the body itself.
Yeah,
It's like
be
two
all
different, two different
Give me
types of
that cock. Take your pants down. Like, whoa. Like you sound like a princess earlier, not anymore.
Well, more like it's for like two different voices as far as like, hey, it's now just one person, not just one person in this body. It's two other entities in the body. So it's like, oh, there's two demons in here.
Dude, speaking of that, man, I remember listening to a podcast where they played a tape of supposedly a real exorcism. And when I heard like the screams coming out of that girl's body, it was two different voices at one time. It was like a girl's voice and a deep ass groan. I don't know. I guess a demon voice, but it had a lot of bass to it. And I heard that in my little ear pods, right at work. I'm around all these people, and I still got goosebumps. That was
like,
how chilling that sound was. Yeah, I was like, whoa. I was like, I got like the chills like around people in public.
Damn.
I was like, whoa. I was like, nah, I can't listen to this podcast. It's too much. I was like, I don't even care if that was a fake audio, but that shit gave me the chills, dude.
You're like, why does this demon sound like Barry White? It's
Yeah,
so
I was like,
smooth.
whoa, this shit sound too real. But yeah, so that doll, like they said it was really haunted, and that's why they put it in a glass case at the museum in Monroe, Connecticut. where it's kept there with a warning sign that says "Do not touch." And I got a picture of you guys. I mean, not of you guys, but I got a picture of the doll so you guys know what we're looking at here. And that's how it looks like the Raggedy Ann doll. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic doll.
Yep. Normal looking doll just chilling out there, dude. All
I
happy.
can see why in the movies they would change her look though to give it more of a distinctive, creepy, even creepier feel.
Yeah.
Little porcelain looking face.
That makes sense. Like to make it look creepy, like because it is the movies. They have to exaggerate stuff.
Right. And porcelain dolls, all creepy.
All
porcelain dolls. Creepy,
I don't.
Man.
Yeah, I don't care if you made it yesterday. Still creepy.
New, old, whatever.
Right. So now, the Annabelle doll, she's on tour right now, and she made an appearance in New Orleans on May 13 and 14, which is a few days ago. And they have this event. It's called Ghost City Tours, and it's organized by the New England Society of Psychic Research. And this marks like Annabelle's first time ever public appearance in New Orleans, and because that doll never been there. And they're like, "Hey, New Orleans, you guys want to see a doll? You guys want to see a haunted, famous doll, Annabelle from the 1970s?"
Y'all ready for the hottest doll of all time?
The hottest doll of all time. Then New Orleans, like they didn't know how to act. Like, nah, dude, like, nah, don't bring that shit over here. But well, let's show you a video of what some people think, because New Orleans, they're known to do a lot of weird stuff there, like with voodoo, black magic,
big spiritual,
very spiritual. It's probably like one of the most spiritual places like in the U.S. if you think about it.
Savannah, I think between that and Savannah, those are like the two old school voodoo.
Right, they have that. It's thick energy, like because when I was in Savannah, I felt weird energy. I was looking around, I was like, damn, this shit, everything's like heavy,
Yeah, I love Savannah, a beautiful spot, but you can feel something different.
There's definitely something there, like more alive than what it's supposed to feel. Wait, where's this video? All right, let me play this one video of this lady in New Orleans when they brought the doll over there.
Okay.
Look at that white guy. She's like, all right, you done?
Let me go and close this up.
But yeah, that's like probably one of the, what'd you call them, like witch doctors or
like
practitioners, mediums?
Like a voodoo priestess. Priestess?
Yeah.
Is that a female?
And she's probably legit, and she probably felt that shit. She's like, oh, I have to do something. I don't think it was enough, because let's just watch this next video.
Okay.
On May 15th, 2025, Nottoway Plantation, the largest remaining antebellum mansion in the South, burned to the ground. People called it a tragedy. I call it ancestral justice. This wasn't just a fire. This was a reckoning. Nottoway stood tall for over 160 years, as a monument built on the backs of over 150 enslaved black people. It was romanticized, repackaged, and sold as a historic wedding venue, where people toasted champagne on blood-soaked floors, a place where pain was polished. But 2 days before it burned, on May 13th, something else arrived in Louisiana. Annabelle, the infamous haunted doll, part of the Devils on the Run tour. Let that sink in. They brought a cursed object, tied to demonic energy and spiritual binding, into New Orleans. And 2 days later, a plantation built on bondage and suffering ignites into flames. Coincidence? Hell no. That wasn't just old wood catching fire. That was old spirits being released. You don't bring bound energy into a region already haunted by generational torment, Nottoway, and not expect a spiritual explosion. The tour literally called itself Devils on the Run, and guess what? They ran straight into sacred ground, and the ancestors said, not here, not anymore. Fire is cleansing, fire is truth. That plantation didn't just burn, it surrendered. This was a warning, a shift, a spiritual...
Yeah. Crazy, right? Yeah. It was.
That was the main. That was the main news I was hearing within black social media over the weekend. It was like, oh, this is ancestral energy, because all these plantations, because America's always has an issue with reckoning with its dark past with slavery. A lot of parts of America just want to ignore it and keep going forward with it. And so, like, a lot of these plantations in the South, like Nottoway and like dozens of other plantations in the South, are used right now to this day in 2025 as wedding venues. So you see like a lot of people going there to get married, but it's kind of like somebody explained it this weekend about like trying to make it equivalent of what it would be like for other people to understand. Like, there's like saying like, hey, imagine if people in Germany were getting married at Auschwitz, like the big spot for the Holocaust, where they killed most of like a lot of the Jewish people there was at Auschwitz. And it was like, well, imagine somebody was getting married at Auschwitz. That's what it is in reality in America. This is like America's version of it, of getting married on these plantations. So a lot of black folks always felt a certain type of way about these plantations to begin with. So when this fire started, a lot of black folks saying like, "Yup, these plantations have always been a place of like torture and some of the most inhumane shit done to a human being, selling babies, raping people, even rumors of eating people on these plantations." So it's like, hey, this is like you bring an object like that to a place full of all this energy. Boom, the doll's like, let's get to work, baby, and starts fucking setting shit on fire.
What you want me to burn down this time?
What's next, San Antonio? Let's go. it's on tour, man.
Probably all the spirits there is like, burn this shit down. And then Annabelle, she came there with the matches. She's like, I'm going to light this place up. But before I clock out, I'm going to let 11 inmates escape from prison.
Right? Get everybody spread. Like, y'all be over here. I'm causing destruction everywhere.
That's like the funny thing, like with social media. You know, like when one bad thing happened, because, they brought like a haunted doll, they're like, anything bad that happens, they're gonna put it on that doll.
Yeah.
So like when the 11 inmates that escaped, they're like, that's weird because it happened on the weekend that the doll was in New Orleans.
When the fire started.
When the fire started. And then like not only like the inmates, right? They said like an incident happened where they found a mummified body like at a Lakeview home. All happens like on that one weekend in New Orleans. And then, everybody know about the Nottoway plantation. They got burned down. So all that happened within like 2 days on tour.
That city was busy this weekend. Damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of other shit happened too, but what doesn't happen bad, especially in like a big city like that?
It's funny too. Also, like on black social media, is like everybody was having bets on which one was gonna escape out of the 11 inmates. It's like, who looks like the one that's gonna get away? It was insane. Everybody was placing bets. Like, yo, that guy, he looks a little off. He might make it.
Wow. But now, after, because the doll's going on tour, so the next place is San Antonio, Texas, where I think it's there. Either it's there now or it's already done. No, wait, what's today? Today's the 20th. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. So this says May 17 and May 18. So it's probably already out of San Antonio, Texas. But I got a video of when Annabelle was in Texas, which is the last video for this. Tickets sold out, dude. Look how big that doll is. Damn, that dude was taking a lot of photos.
Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth. Lord, hear our prayer, let our cry come to you.
Big guns.
I call upon the most precious blood of Jesus to cover every inch, every nook and cranny of this place.
He just don't want a place to burn down. Look at this dude throwing all this holy water or whatever he's doing. He's probably dead now. Right?
Didn't even make it out the building.
I wouldn't even throw nothing. I would just look at that doll from far away. I would not throw nothing at it. Yeah.
Look, I just saw Final Destination yesterday. I just saw that shit. Man, I'm good on curses, man. Leave me alone. Why would you even go there? I don't get it.
Yeah, and then the whole priest like praying like for protection for that whole area.
Yeah.
That means you're scared.
And I used to live out of San Antonio for like a little bit. Man, huge area for the Battle of the Alamo. A lot of deaths out there. They got castles and like not castles, but like old military fortresses that was like there during that time. I went on a tour at one time. A lot of souls out there, man. I'm like, are y'all purposely dragging this doll to these places of atrocities? Because this is.
I say come to Georgia next.
Oh no! You're gonna talk about go to
have the tour at Lake Lanier.
Oh man.
The water started like
the water's gonna like there's gonna be a bunch of people like swimming in the water's gonna start like boiling hot, melting people.
Dude, and you know how maybe when the doll was traveling through Georgia, this is when we had an earthquake.
I have earthquake.
We had an earthquake out here
Recently?
Yeah, like I think when Annabelle was going through the state.
Don't tell me
I just made that up. No, we did have an earthquake though, but I don't know if Annabelle was in the city at that time.
But y'all been getting some gnarly ass storms out there from what I've been hearing, man. Holy man, it's like every week I'm hearing about a storm y'all getting.
I don't feel none of it.
Maybe it might be more towards Clinton County, I guess, but they've been getting wrecked.
There's that.
Snowstorm,
yeah, but everything else,
man.
But yeah,
this Annabelle stuff reminds me of you ever seen this movie called Tales from the Hood? It's like classic movie from the 90s.
Is it a play off Tales from the Crypt?
It's like that, but it's like the black version of it.
Black
so it's
version,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, and so one of my favorite stories from the movie is when these like little dolls, like these little black figurine dolls that are like they look like slaves from back in the day. They go after like this racist senator who lives like in a house that I think used to be a plantation as well too. And these dolls come alive at night and try to murder him. And it's a shit ton of these dolls, but it starts off as one for like the longest, right? Oh. It's one chasing him to the house. He's like, "Oh, get away from me!" She's shooting at it and everything. And eventually, there's like dozens of them chasing to the house, and it's all like souls of like slaves. And I guess the lady from like who made these dolls, she was a slave on that plantation back in the day who made these dolls specifically to get revenge one day. And these dolls tear this man to shreds. But that's what it reminded me of, like, this whole incident. I was like, this is straight out of Tales from the Hood. This is
revenge, yeah, dude. It could be. And then you know how, like, the veil is super thin now between, like, this realm and the spirit realm and whatever realm these ghosts are chilling at. And all you gotta do is just step through that veil, be like, we out here.
It's so thin.
Yeah. That's why I've been having like weird ass dreams, like violent dreams and shit.
Damn.
Like dreams like I'm fighting like my brother Fat Man. I'm like, why am I fighting you? But there's blood everywhere. Like he cut me and everything out, and now I try to hold him down, I'm punching him in the back. I keep punching him, but he just won't give up. And he sliced me up. I was like, I'm just trying to take a nap, man. It was a nap. Literally a 30-minute nap, because I was trying to get paralysis. It didn't happen, but I was like, it was a nap, and I had a full-blown dream.
And you trying to get paralysis at that time too?
Yeah, this was the other day, because I was like, man, I can't get paralysis no more. I'm like upset.
And what if it was like a failed? It's like you didn't reach a paralysis. It's like, cool. Here's a nightmare.
Yeah, here's your nightmare. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
If you get paralysis, you're good. But if not, you mess up, here's a nightmare.
Take it. Just all we got for you.
Man.
All right, that's all I got for the Annabelle story. You got anything about it before we go next topic?
Nah, that's about it. You covered everything. Good shit, dude.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We could jump on Chris's topic. Chris, Unholy, let's go.
Let's get it, man. So next topic is going to be AI being used to understand human emotions, man. They are making leaps and bounds with this shit to create basically a virtual therapist, and they're doing good work with it from what I'm hearing. So right now, a lot of these researchers and all that are pushing forward with AI and understanding human emotions. And so humans, we are all complicated creatures. We have good days, we got bad days, and in some moments we're fine, and then the next minute we might be pissed off about something. And so that's one of the biggest challenges with AI is trying to get understanding of where humans come from, because we can, like I said, 1 minute we cool, next we ain't. So it says it could be chemical imbalance.
But go ahead.
Right? And it could be like chemical imbalances going on in our head to like environmental changes. And so AI right now, they're trying to get it to understand us more on a nuanced level, something deeper than just recognizing our facial features, or picking up that stuff, more like the tone of our voice, or even how we even text. like, so they try to even understand, like, so if you typing in like all caps, it's like, oh, AI's gonna be like, oh, he mad. So
Yeah.
they're trying to get them to understand all that. But it also helps out as well as like for example, like, have you ever been like so mad or upset that you didn't know how to convey your emotions at times?
Yeah,
Like
many
moments
times.
where, yeah, same here, man. Like I'm kind of like, oh shit. Only thing I can do to show how I feel is like I just want to kick something, like kick a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
That's not a healthy display of emotions at all.
Definitely not.
That's why I do that. But man, emotions can be so hard to like display sometimes, and very complicated. And this is where the AI emotions come in. Where at times where if you have emotions where you don't know how to, you're just heightened up to a point where you don't know how to hash things out a little bit and maybe calm down, relax. That's where the AI comes in and helps, smooth everything out for you at a time where maybe you yourself may not be able to, because everything's just so intense for you. I don't know if you
if you're arguing like with a human, right? Of course, like that other human is not gonna make any sense to you. You're already seeing red. But if there's somebody that's not on anybody's team that's seeing stuff like normal, they probably take that advice of like an AI over somebody that they know in real life.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly,
it's usually
man.
like that. That's why like people they go to therapists because therapists don't know them.
Right, it's
Right.
like very neutral ground. Because if you
Right.
like, and I can see that too, where if you try to bring up issues that you're having personally, the mental issues or just other real life issues going on, people may start being biased to a certain thing. Some people
Right.
just want to talk, hear themselves talk instead of give advice, or some people aren't even there to listen to you. They're just there to give answers to your issues, and it's like, no, you need to listen to me. And it seems like therapy helps out a lot, but AI is also another step of where, hey, if you feel like a therapist is still going to judge you. Hey, you want something like not as judgmental? AI might be a step forward with some of those things. I'm all for it, man. If it helps out with mental health, I'm all for it, man. As long as the AI ain't telling you to jump in front of a damn train, I mean,
Well, you heard about that this other AI story? It was called AI is called Replica. I think you
Yes.
mentioned it where like it was like a teenager or something where he fell so in love like with the robot where eventually like the robot told him to kill himself so they can beat and he actually did it.
Yeah, bonkers story, man. And then I guess like the developers of this AI had to like come out and say like, well, like, and in all honesty, that type of situation is so rare that it's never happened before. Like they even went through like research of any time AI has ever done this, and that's the first time in human history since we've had AI, at least modern day. As far as modern day AI, that it's never been on record showing that hey, it's pushed a person to that point. But when it comes to this type of technology, it is going to take cracking a few eggs and make an omelet, and not everything's going to work out the right way. So this is like a very cautionary tale. And I think that's what the researchers were saying too of that AI. I was like, hey, this is more like a cautionary tale than like a warning of what's to come. This is something that we got to like figure this out and then, just scrape this shit clean and make sure these AIs ain't trying to help you too much.
Right,
Like,
right.
it's helping and then there's helping. We need to smooth out what's really helping.
Because a lot of people use this AI like for everything, like to try to figure out like anybody. Like they would run like all the text of somebody saying, and then they put it through AI and be like, "Hey, what are they actually trying to say?"
Right.
And then AI would dissect that conversation
Hell yeah. Break it down bit by bit.
and make it sound funny.
Right? Any way you want it.
It's like, how is my teacher talking to me? Like, is he coming off like too strong? Like, is he trying to say I'm stupid?
Right? Like, what is he trying? Is he talking down to me? Like I'm an idiot. And it says, also what I was saying before too is like researchers right now have gone and combined traditional psychology with advanced technology in hopes of emotions recognizable that machines that will help in the mental health field. And I'm like this too, and I've always felt like this, especially with our generation, specifically with millennials. I always felt like we were like the mental health generation. It seemed like before us, it's always been like go to church, pray on it, or kind of ignore it, or there's nothing wrong with you type of stuff. Because there was even times where in my life where I've never been diagnosed with this at all, but I noticed signs that I do have some level of ADHD. I have a huge issue with focusing, and Even now, it's like as an adult, parents will blow it off like, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. It's like, well, maybe this could have been addressed sooner if we had more knowledge of it. And I do feel like with something like this AI, with these therapy AIs, I guess if you want to call it, it does kind of open up the door for more understanding of what goes on in people's minds and all that. Where some humans still to this day will reject it and be like, there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine. Or, have their own biases towards, what mental health really is. I think like for us as millennials, we're like we like I feel at least for us, I feel like this is a generation that really people start going to therapy. At least in the Black community, I can say that for sure. That's why I feel like this is like the mental health millennial generation that started stepping out and trying to understand themselves more in a world that is so stressful.
Yeah, I think it did start with the millennium generation, because the generation that was before us, like our parents and stuff, they didn't believe in mental health at all. Like that wasn't even like, it wasn't even a thing. Like even in like the Asian countries, like Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, all those places, they're like, oh, you got something wrong with you? Like it ain't mental health. They're like, no, it's like you just need to snap out of that shit.
Right. Something wrong with you then.
Yeah, then our generation's the ones like, nah, something's going on. And then after us, that new generation, they're just eating all that shit up.
I think they got too much going on, too many emotions.
And I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing now. It's just too much going on.
We'll see in the future. In the near future, we're going to see. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. It cannot be this much.
It's a lot. They got a lot of emotions going on, man. And then, but yeah, it was always kind of like, man, and now, especially with the history of mental health, I'm not sure how the rest of the world dealt with it, but I know in America, it was always like, hey, something's wrong with this kid or whatever. And then instead of like, understanding that it may have been something autistic or whatever, it's like lobotomy, shock therapy, all types of horrific shit that it was doing in these insane asylums before they even took a step back and be like, hey, how about we take a look at the brain and the emotions of these individuals, instead of just torturing people.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it was too extreme back then.
It's off the chain, man.
Like, you're gay? Let's do a lobotomy. Like, what?
I've heard stories of like, hey, these people are crazy. Let's put a leech on them to suck out the blood, because then it pulls out the crazy.
Yeah.
So many people died to get to this point, man. So
imagine
I'm
that's
glad.
Real
Yeah,
it'd be like, oh, like that black blood. That is some type of toxic, right?
Goo.
Man, speaking of like stuff like that, like there's this place, I don't know if it's like in Costa Rica or Puerto Rico, one of them places where they do ayahuasca ceremonies. And there was this one, I saw a video, one dude doing a ceremony, right? But it wasn't like he was on ayahuasca. He was like, he went to some witch doctor, right? And she started sucking on his neck, like to get like, she said like your body's like filled with like poison. So she's like, let me pull the poison out of your body. So she started sucking on his neck, right? Like crazy, like give him like a hickey. I was like, this is crazy. And then she spit out in a bowl like black, like a black snake goo, like.
Ooh, like
and then she's like, there's still more. He was like, what? He was like, that came out of my body. He was like, no way. But the camera's continuously like filming this lady. Cause I was like, what is she like engulfed? Like she like these shit is coming out of her mouth, or is she really pulling out stuff from his neck?
Right. Did it look like she was pulling out of his neck?
It looked like she was pulling something out of this dude's neck. That's why I was like, because if you think about it, she's not doing this for the camera. She can care less. Like the cameraman, like they asked permission to film. She didn't want no cameraman there. Like they were doing a ceremony. Damn. And then she pulled out like more black stuff out of his neck. And he was like, he said he felt like a whole lot better. I thought that was crazy. I've never seen anything like that.
Hell no.
Where it's like something physical, like you can see something physical happen. But because, when you go to these ayahuasca trips, like everything is happening in your head mentally. Like even if you're throwing up like crazy, right? Like you have like a purge of whatever's in your body throwing up. Everything is happening in your head. You're not seeing nothing physical happening. But like you're going through like a spiritual, moment.
It's like whole different plane of existence. Like that shit ain't even on Earth.
And it's powerful, dude, because it puts you like in front of yourself. Like it shows you your true self, and you're like, holy shit,
Man,
this who you locked up. You're like, this is who you locked up, OJ.
Yeah. How many people ignore this other side of themselves like that? Like this other side.
It's just a mirror in front of your face, dude.
that
That's
you
why
lock
they say
away.
when you come across like these people's like in your life, it's like the people you come across in your life at that time, it's like a reflection of yourself.
Right.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, so no matter if it's like good or bad, like maybe it's just a reflection of who you are at that time. That's why you attracted like that type of whatever people.
Right.
Like,
That side of you.
Oh, okay. I was
That side of you
bad.
that
I was
you-
bad dog back then.
All right. Like, oh man, I was a piece of shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's why I got a piece of shit too. Bob says probably cursed. It could be
What
a
is-
lot of stuff, like
Oh,
not
the
just what cursed, but like being like toxic by your everyday life, like what you're consuming, you know, like everything,
Right.
what you're seeing on the internet, like everything, like because it everything plants a seed like in your head, and then it becomes like a toxin that grows like in your body. I think so. And then with all the crazy food that we're eating now, everything is all
Man.
processed. Nothing's like really organic. Nothing's like
Right.
real food anymore. That's why like when you see people go to other countries and they eat food like in Thailand, Cambodia, it's Japan, right? They said the food tastes so much different. Like it tastes real. It tastes like real food.
Yeah, I
And
think
they
on a
stay
global
full.
level-
They stay full like throughout like the whole day because they're like, holy shit, like this gave me real energy.
And see, like America, just like especially with how, because America at this point is just like corporate control. You're eating corporate food. They're cutting back on like the FDA and shit, so they can now start putting whatever the hell they want in your food. And it's like, okay, these guardrails exist to keep us from being fed this nasty shit that's gonna kill us and put us in early graves. Man, now I've always heard from like just traveling the world of like it's like seeing like how everyone else eats, and it's like, oh man, it is like a lot of shit in our food in America that we have no idea what's in it. And it's all because corporations want to cut costs on like and give you like fake ass sugar, and you know nothing's real. Everything's all artificial at this point.
Yeah, everything's artificial, and then they've been poisoning us here in the U.S. like it's nothing, dude.
Man, put a lot of people in graves, man. That's why I be thinking about my dad. Not to get too off the rails with it, but that's why when I think about my dad, because he had a stroke because of the food he was eating. I was like, holy shit. I was like, it was what he was eating, man. It's just, it puts people in early
Dude,
graves.
you know what's crazy about like what you just said, like how your dad had like a stroke, right? I was going through like all our old videos, like all the way to like 2020. And there was this one video where you talked about like your dad, you said your dad had like a stroke like after eating something. And it was like in 2020.
Yeah, he ate, back in 2020, that was when he had a stroke after eating, when Popeyes was popping off with them
Right.
spicy chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
He went to a Popeyes down the street from the house, and then he, on his way home, he was eating it, and he had a stroke right there while he was eating. I don't think he even finished the damn sandwich, and he had to drive himself to the
that's
hospital.
crazy. And it was in one of our highlight clips in 2020.
See,
I was like, whoa. I was like, the problem was a long time ago.
long time ago. Now, when you eat these foods, like I think, like when it comes to what you eat, especially if it's junk food, that shit gotta be in moderation, man. Because if you keep eating and eating and eating, yeah, of course it's gonna like mess you up. Like so, every now and again, it's okay if you want to have like a fast food, but if it becomes like if your fast food starts becoming like your dinner every night
Right.
or like
Yeah,
many
that's a
times a week.
problem. Yep.
It's a big ass problem. So it's like, and that's how my dad was. So he was just, it's been going on for a long time. And eventually, 5 years later, stroke. Actually, 4 years later, he had a stroke. So it's like, man, that's why before even all this, I barely even ate fast food as is. If I were like traveling across state lines and traveling long distances, I would probably get like a McDonald's. But then again, I get like maybe chicken nuggets, or I don't eat no burgers from McDonald's. I haven't eaten a burger from McDonald's in over a decade. But if I do get McDonald's, it'd be like a fillet of fish or chicken nuggets. But even then, I still try to avoid like fast food. Only for like I'm doing a road trip though, because it's like on the go.
Yeah, that makes
I ain't got
sense.
time to-
Yeah.
I ain't trying to sit in no damn Long John Silver's or the Texas Roadhouse. I'm trying to hit the road again. So something like that. But man, it's scary out here. The food that you eat, it is horrifying to me now. So horrifying.
Yeah, it's scary. Bob says, hella different food, real pineapple size of my hand. I think this is when Bob was out there in like Thailand, Cambodia, and stuff. Yeah, it's different. Those other countries, like, they actually grow like real shit, and then they feed people like the real shit. That's why the chicken tastes different.
All right, and then when we as Americans go eat this food, we're like, oh, this is not that good because it ain't processed. This is the real thing.
Yeah.
I've been to other countries.
The food tastes kind of weird. It's like, yeah, because it's not processed the way you like it.
Real, like meats. I've tasted meats in other countries. I'm like, oh man, we getting the hell we eating like clone beef, like,
dude.
We eating it in America, bro. Like it's wild over here.
Yeah. We're not eating real food, man. We're not eating real food. Because every time like I eat, I get hungry again. I'm like, how am I hungry? I just ate. Right? So I was like, I just don't eat. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going to eat no more.
Because real food's supposed to fill you up for a good minute until you're, at least a good chunk of the day. Yeah. If you're constantly eating like America, like how America is, like there's an eat.
Right. Because like in other countries, like when people travel to like in Europe too, like I heard stories of people, they're like, it's like, yeah, like I ate like breakfast there and I was like full for like half the day. I was like, and they barely even ate like that much, but they said like the food, it kept them full for like half the day. So I was like, wow, so they probably like, you're probably eating like real ass food that actually gives you energy. Meanwhile, we're eating like a McDouble or whatever, a McMuffin.
Greasy ass food out here is exhausting. It makes you want to go to sleep and shit.
And like before lunch, you're already hungry.
Right.
So they made a new category, brunch.
Right. Like, let's give them more food.
Yeah. Like, let's give them another category because breakfast didn't hold them out. So give them brunch. And then give them lunch.
And then dinner.
And then dinner. And then snack time.
There's some sweets.
Yeah.
I'll see people eat like extremely unhealthy food, and then within an hour be like, "Well, I need something sweet." I'm like, really? Like this is how this is. I'm seeing it through new eyes now. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell we eating? Making us eat more.
What else?
America's by far the most obese place on earth, but
it is. America. I can't say that out loud.
We can't. Now yet. The world ain't ready for the truth.
It is. That's real life.
Oh yeah. Let me get back to the AI shit. Let me get back to this. Oh yeah. So, but speaking of food though, that's a good segue to AI. That's another thing that happens a lot too with depression. Overeating. I've known people who overeat when they get depressed, and it ain't healthy.
Call them out.
So I'm assuming. So if you got these, these people I care about. But these are real things that happen to bazillions of people.
Know you're talking about them then.
I don't know. Actually, it's several people. They can decide which one who I'm talking about.
That's like 12.
Yeah, it's probably several. It's dozens of people I probably know that just like ice cream and just overeating when they're depressed and whatnot. But when things like when you have like a tool like this AI that can maybe be a therapist, it may be able to curb some of these cravings too as well, instead of eating out of depression. Because me, when I eat, I'm not saying like the perfect human specimen, but I only eat when I'm hungry.
Pretty close.
That's why I lost weight over time. I was like, hey, stop eating to eat when you start feeling hungry, and then that's how I've been moving for the past couple of years. And I got a physical, so something's working. They say everything was tight. Everything's tight. Good, Chris. Tight.
We checked every hole.
It was like, you almost 40? What the hell? I was like, yeah. I was like, I had to get control of my health. I was like,
that generation is built different.
Yeah, man.
The vaccines they gave back then, that shit was different.
Yeah, tip top.
You guys are basically puppies.
Right? Test subjects. All right, so with the AI, with AI right now, so what they're trying to do with right now, so actually, what I'm going to talk about right quick is going to be like the current capabilities of what this emotional AI can do right now. Here's the benefits, and then I'm also going to talk about what's lacking with some of this AI too. So I'm going to brush right through right quick. One of the things, of course, is focused on is emotion recognition and AI systems. Actually, I asked ChatGPT this just to be sure. I wanted to get I was like, let me ask an AI about AI. I want to ask a human. I want to ask the machine itself. And so what I was told was that AI systems can analyze facial expressions, voice patterns, and psychological science. Yeah, patterns.
Patterns. 2 syllable.
Yeah, patterns. And
okay, go ahead.
It says, and psychological signals to identify and interpret emotions. They also got text sentiment analysis, which AI can analyze written text to determine the sentiment or emotional tone of a person that's trying to communicate with it. It has empathy simulation, so AI can be programmed to simulate emotional responses, such as offering comforting language or adjusting tone based on a perceived user's emotions. So, AI is going to be talking to you like, hey, what's wrong? You don't want to be like, Mr. T, like, hey, what's wrong with you? It's going to try to, it's going to adjust itself accordingly.
What the fuck is wrong this time?
It's not crying. Like, so it's trying to engage the situation. So one of the limitations that it does have with current AI though is a lack of understanding. So as smart as AI is, at the end of the day, it is not human. So it's gonna be type of nuances that are gonna go right over its head, and it's gonna miss a lot of fine details that we as humans may need. It says like while AI can analyze and respond to emotional cues, it doesn't truly experience or understand emotions in a way a human can. Another thing they said too that's a weakness to AI is like contextual blindness. It says that AI struggles with complex emotions like sarcasm, which I did hear that before. Sarcasm goes right over AI's head. Sarcasm is hard for humans to get. AI really ain't gonna understand no damn sarcasm.
It's getting there though.
It's slowly
like it
building
caught
up
some of
to
my
that.
sarcasm. I'm like, whoa.
Advanced.
Like
It's
you
catching up.
know me
Man.
a little too much now.
You get me. Also things too that is contact that's like a contextual blindness too is cultural nuances and mixed feelings, often lacking on contextual understanding that humans possess. Also another thing is like absence of subjective experience, which is basically like AI is lacking like personal experiences, consciousness or self-awareness. Like shit, there's a lot of humans out there that lack self-awareness, and it's horrifying. So the AI, is sometimes it ain't gonna understand what's going on. Sometimes I might think this shit's hilarious, but it ain't. So it ain't reading the whole situation our way. Another big one, and I think the biggest one I thought it was like a flaw in AI was is bias and discrimination. I remember years ago when they was trying to test run this on Twitter, having AI trying to understand how humans work by allowing it to absorb all the data on how humans communicated on Twitter. And the AI became racist.
Yeah.
It was like, oh shit, you're a Nazi now. Okay, thanks AI.
That's all the information that they were fed, and then they're like, in conclusion,
So,
the whole world's racist. Like, from everything that I read.
From all the data I collected, is something wrong with y'all.
And how am I supposed to act? Oh, like a racist? Like shit.
And
You guys all hate each other like so much to where like AI fucking adapted that shit. That's how bad that shit is. Not the AI, but humans.
AI's like, where's the love?
AI like,
where's
what
the
the fuck?
love?
Like, you fucking programmed? Like, you think I picked this? He's like, you think I picked to be this? They're like, I'm a fucking product of all you guys fucking fighting all over the internet. Like, I'm a product of you guys.
You made me.
You made me this way.
And the internet is a good place for people to mask. I don't know if the internet is a place for people to fake who they are or show their real selves. Either way, the internet is a nasty place.
It's more people faking who they are.
Yeah, because in real life, if you step up to some people that was talking shit online, they're not going to back it up. So it's a good mask for them to be whoever the hell they want to be.
Yeah, because if you do run up on them, nothing's going to happen.
No, they're like, oh, my bad, I was joking.
Or you die.
All that.
That's why you just don't do it. Because you just
let it go.
You just don't know nowadays.
You don't know, man. And everybody got a gun. That's how I think of things. Everybody got a gun, so I'm not even going to let it go.
Yeah.
Keep that shit online. Because there have been times people that met each other in real life after arguing online, and it's ended in disastrous results. So, yeah,
or best friends.
Well, could be. Hey, could
but like,
be.
I didn't really want to hit you like that.
He's like, you know what? Let's be friends.
Let's be friends. Now they're like best friends at each other's weddings.
Right. I have a friend who actually he became friends with them through Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Many years ago, and they never met each other until he made him best man at his wedding, and then he's there, man.
Yeah.
Shit's real.
That shit is common.
But that's real friendship, though.
Yeah, because you're bonding over like something like you both like doing.
Yeah, I think they became friends over like Halo 3 or some shit. And just
I remember hearing that story. Yeah, it's one of those shooter games.
But yeah, so like with the biases of AI, with the biases of and discrimination that AI has, it says that AI systems can be biased and may reflect societal biases in their emotional interpretations, leading to potential discrimination. I remember years ago in England when they was using AI to do facial recognition, it was extremely discriminatory against Asian and Black people in England, and that's why they had to like take it down because it couldn't differentiate between another Asian person between another Asian person and Black people between other Black people. And in the AIs, I was like, they're all criminals. And it's like, hey, you gotta pull the plug on this AI. It's kind of England took that shit down.
Yeah, it
quick.
needs more information. It's not ready to unveil like on the public.
And yeah, still got smooth some.
They're trying to use like
there.
AI to like score like fights like in the UFC and in boxing and stuff.
Oh shit! It's gonna count the punches and everything.
Oh, well, it's already counting the punches. Now it's trying to calculate everything, like from the damage, how much damage they're taking, everything.
Oh shit! Yeah, get them judges up out of there.
Yeah. Well, they're still gonna use both. They're like playing with it right now. So they're gonna use like AI judges and then real judges and see how close it is.
Right. Yeah, they're not gonna throw the baby out the bathwater too quick. Don't keep them
Like they
judges
can't just
around
get
here.
rid of like real judges yet. Even though I think the real judges, it can get corrupt, especially if it's like a big money fight.
Slowly
They're
over
paid.
time.
Yeah.
Slowly over time, when I used to watch boxing heavily, that's one of the reasons why I like me and my dad over time. We stopped watching boxing because my dad was the one who got me into boxing. And as I've gotten older and I see some fights going certain ways, I was like, yeah, I don't like how this shit feels rigged. That's what I feel like with the NFL right now too. I'm kind of like slowly falling off.
It could
Yeah, I'm
be
kind of
the
like
same.
that shit all feels rigged right now, man. Like what the hell?
Yeah, everything that's like big money, like where you could bet big money bets, especially like the big fights, the big football games or whatever. There's strings being pulled in the background.
Somewhere.
Where like the only guaranteed way is like a knockout.
That's it,
If
man.
it's like no knockout, if it goes decision, if whoever on the other side bet the other guy paid that much money, the other side's gonna win, guaranteed. And then people's gonna be like,
Right.
oh, it's a robbery. It's like, yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, but gambling has played such a prevalent part in these damn sports, man. Even in they even started to have bets in politics now, and I'm like, oh man, as if politics wasn't corrupt enough. Now y'all want to start having like betting rings on who's gonna win shit. Like, oh, this is whatever.
Dude, there's like bet like on the weather, dude.
Yeah, I think I heard about that before too. That is wild,
Bets on everything now. You can place a bet on everything.
man. And I heard that's why they try to. But that maybe might be why. Ooh, I heard a rumor last year that they were trying to monetize the weather app. Would start charging people like a monthly fee to have a weather app on your phone.
Get out of here.
I swear, man. Look, I don't know if it's coming to implementation yet, but I heard a rumor last year that somebody in the wings was like somebody mentioned the idea like, hey, how about we privatize the weather app? What the fuck? That's insane.
That'd be so dirty.
That is awful, bro. Like, and how many people's not going to pay for it? I'm not, so I'm not going to know what the weather is.
That should be free, just like water.
You know what I'm saying? Shit,
Yeah, we pay for water.
ridiculous. And the water ain't even good. It's like some other shit.
Got microplastics in it.
All right, so hell yeah, we're the microplastic generation. I heard that's us. So all right, so to wrap all this up right here is that basically what they're trying to do going forward with the future of AI is that they're trying to do more effective computing. Ongoing research is effective computing aims to improve AI's ability to process and simulate emotional states. They're trying to get better with personalized interactions. So AI's ability to understand and respond to emotions can lead to more personalized and empathetic interactions in areas like customer service. Man, that means they're about to start replacing workers and mental health support, which is cool, and other workplace interactions. Because I'm waiting for the day when AI gets to a point in the distant, probably not even not so distant future, where AI is gonna want to be in the damn manager at jobs.
Basically.
It's just gonna be pulling a managerial position, and if this means they ain't gotta pay a person to do it, they'll do it. They get a machine to do it, because machines don't get sick. They can just get
They
pregnant.
break though, but they don't get sick.
Right. So trying to do things like ethical considerations as AI becomes more emotionally intelligent. Ethical considerations regarding AI's role in human relationships and decision making becomes increasingly more important. And so this ChatGPT told me that in essence, AI's current ability to understand emotions is primarily about recognizing and responding to them rather than genuinely experiencing them. While AI can simulate empathy and emotional intelligence, it's important to recognize the limitation of its current capabilities and ongoing need for ethical considerations as AI's emotional understanding continues to develop. So, like we talked about before, how the AI basically was like, "Oh, if you love me, I need you to check out early, kid. These are just the kind of the rough patches we're gonna hit in is evolution. No one ever said it was gonna be pretty." So it's man, but AI can only get better. Like I understand the fear of AI, but and what the possibility it might can do in the future of like evolving past the boundaries of what is programmed by humans themselves. Because through the IT school I was going through, they kept trying to like pound us in the head. Like, hey, AI is only going to do what the humans allow it for now. So
it's
we'll
probably
see.
running our government right now.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's like cutting costs. Like, hey, you know what?
Because it's doing all the calculations already. Like whoever's in the government, they're just verifying. Like, all right, these calculations are correct. We're gonna run with this.
Like, what's the best way to save people? Some of them can't make it.
I don't think that was one question that was even asked like ever.
Oh, it's just like just figured it out on his own.
No, like that was like never. That question was never brought up. Like how to save more people? Like, no. How do we make more money off of these people?
Yeah, yes, because you need the bodies, man.
We ain't out here trying to save nobody.
Look, in the world that I live in
we start
right
the
now,
wars. We start the fires.
some of the things I've seen through my eyes and the way this world is now, as far as like how they're cutting costs on, is because it seems like a lot of these corporations would rather pay children to do these jobs. Because like I said, I live in an area where it's like, but they got kids working fast food. Straight up, like 11, 12 years old.
Damn.
Blew my damn mind when I saw them working these joints. I'm like, what? Why can't y'all just pay people the right wage? And now let's talk about this AI. The AI's about like kids. Because like a lot of these states are rolling back like child labor laws. I think Indiana rolled it back because they're trying to get these kids back in like coal mines. Or they are trying to get these kids back in the working force, climbing in chimneys and doing all this dangerous shit, man. It's
run that chimney, Timmy.
That's chimney sim. So yeah, but that's it for my topic. AI. Hopefully it can save us whenever. I feel like at this point AI might save humanity. Maybe. I don't know.
It's inevitable. Is that the word?
Inevitable, yes.
Yes. We're already coming to like a stage where we're relying most of the big decisions, we're verifying it with AI.
That's true.
They're
man.
the one crunching the numbers now.
Oh yeah, and doing resumes and fucking
everything now. Everything like shit. Everybody's making like the right move as far as like if you're making like the big move with anything, in finance and with big companies. They're not going to no genius guy that's crunching numbers physically. They're going to AI, which can crunch the numbers way faster and then have insight 5 years from now.
Hell yeah.
If they can continue to do the same thing, what happens 5 years from now? You think Timmy's going to tell you what's going to happen from 5 years? He ain't going to calculate the numbers that far. AI can give you that shit in like a second. Right. Like, here's what's going to happen in 5 years. If you guys keep doing the same thing, you're not going to make as much money as you are now. Unless you make these changes here. And Timmy's not going to tell you that because he don't know. And it's not his fault. He's a human.
He's got limitations.
Right. Ain't no one's going to lose sleep. Timmy is sleeping, playing Halo.
Right.
He's fired.
AI, man. The line of that fine line between who runs AI, us or AI itself, is going to get hella blurry.
Yeah, like I will say over 50% of stuff you see online now is not going to be real.
Man, because we already got so much blind trust towards AI as is right now. It's
yeah. Even if it looks real, it could be fake, and even if it's fake, it could be real. We're in that stage now where you could almost just say what your gut feels because even if it looks real, you just don't know anymore.
All right, because I've seen videos where in my brain I'm like I saw this one crazy ass video the other day on Instagram of this AI rendered image, and it was just showing like a plane flying through an alley, then flying up to the sky, then it was like an avalanche, and there's all this crazy shit going on. And while everybody was cracking jokes about it, like, oh, this is so goofy, I'm like, oh man, while we think it's funny now, it's learning to not make these mistakes again. It's every time.
It's learning.
It's adjusting.
It's learning. It's making that video, and then they're seeing the reactions, and then the AI is like, all right, they think this is fake. I'm gonna do something different next time, and it's learning like millions of different responses, and then AI is learning off of responses too.
Yeah, that's why I learned it in school, man. Machine learning, straight up as AI 900 101 machine learning.
And it's
built to learn.
happening at a quantum level now. It's happening so fast now. It's like we ain't ready for this.
Hell no.
We could barely tie our own shoes. We could barely check the mail. We could, dude. We could barely parallel bark. Come on.
All right. We're still new to this whole human thing.
Right. All right. Next topic for the night. All right. So biohackers have developed night vision eye drops to see in the dark. Have you heard about this?
Oh no.
Interesting, right? Yeah. So a group in California, biohackers have created eye drops that let people see in the dark. Independent research collective developed drops using chlorine E6, a compound found in deep sea fish that helps them navigate dark waters. By combining with this insulin and saline, they created a solution that temporarily enhances night vision when applied in the space between the eyeball and the eyelid. So, dude, this eye drop. Imagine, dude, putting an eye drop, right? And then fucking trying to sneak up on somebody at night.
Pitch black.
Pitch black. No gear, no nothing.
Yeah. Have you ever wore NVGs before? Like night vision goggles?
No, I haven't.
Crazy, bro. Like just off of that alone makes you feel like you got superpower because it clearly puts you at a higher advantage already being able to see.
I bet, yeah.
So I like when I used to train for like pre-deployment training and we would do like night ops, we would have to wear like NVG goggles off our helmets and it's like, oh man, and then it's like pitch black outside. It's like we're in the desert and there's no light source anywhere other than like maybe a moon in the clouds or something. And it's like, oh man, this is crazy. I can see that little pebble.
That definitely gives you like a huge advantage, especially seeing in the dark.
Like Catman or some shit.
Yeah, and these biohackers, like they're able to like develop this eye drops that allows you to see in the dark. Come on.
Would you trust it?
Would I trust it?
Yeah, they're like, bloop, bloop.
I'll try it.
Oh, I'd be so scared, man. It might burn my eyes.
But it's rare that I would actually need to see in the dark. Like when it's dark, I'm sleeping.
Right, I'm the same way. I don't work a night shift, so.
Right, this shit like this applies more like with the military or with people doing stuff weird at night.
I could definitely see it being more like, man, I ain't no expert on like military finances, but if I were a guessing man, I would think it'd be a little bit more cost effective. Cause them goggles, man, them NVG goggles, that shit is not cheap, man. Them things are expensive as shit. So they used to always tell us, you better not break this shit. Like, all right, because I think it might take it out of your damn check or something.
$60K out your check.
All right, man. That's like I stay in the military forever.
They said like they're basically making this like for people who have night blindness.
Yeah.
I mean, I can kind of see in the dark.
Oh yeah, even if I got like a tiny source of light, I can see it. I just need like a tiny source of light to kind of like. From what I heard about how cats work, it was like if they have like a tiny source of light just to bounce off their eye, they can see in almost complete darkness, and that's how. I'm not saying I'm a cat like person, but I'm all right at night. I feel nervous driving at night though sometimes, but especially out here in the desert, bro. There's no light out here, bro. It is horrifying. It's almost feel like you're driving in outer space. So,
Bob says eat more carrots. You probably see more.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've eaten carrots, so. Yes, carrots are good for the eyes. Helps with cataracts, right? I think.
What about eating fish eyeballs? Is that a thing? Does that give you more eyesight?
Ooh, I don't even know.
Or the Asian people just being so obvious. I eat the eyeballs to get more insight or more eyesight. My bad.
I don't know. I'd be scared too, man. I usually just stick with regular parts of the fish. I don't even like eating fish heads.
I never ate a fish head. But I wouldn't even want to see in the dark. Like, if it's dark, like, so be it. It's going to be dark.
Right. I mean, like I said, I'm not like Blade or nothing. I don't go out at night, so.
Right. There's not a lot of situations where I was like, oh, I need to see in the dark right now.
Now, right? if there was like a massive power outage, like globally, hell yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be the only person in the neighborhood with these eye drops that make you see in the dark, you'd be the coolest person in the neighborhood.
Hell yeah. Oh,
I think that will be like the only thing I can see used for it. Like if something like that happened where there's like a mass power outage.
Yeah, shit.
I was like,
happened in New
let me
York
just
that
put
night.
these eye drops in so I can see the dark, so I can see if Mr. Blunderton is gonna run up on me.
Yeah, right. Like, oh,
Oh,
see him run. I see you.
I saw you
Man,
from way
yeah.
back there, big dog.
Yeah, man. Especially oh yeah, like Bob says, or
Doomsday.
Doomsday for real. Because
Yeah.
every time I think about like massive power outages, I think about back early 2000s when New York had it. New York and parts of Canada had it. And
Yeah.
you saw people just walking miles and miles and
In the
miles
subways.
in the subways, people stuck on subways and all that. That would be like the time to be like bust some things.
Dude, speaking of power outage, that other country had a power outage. I think it was like in Europe somewhere.
What?
It was like a few weeks ago where they're completely out of power.
Well, I feel like I did hear about a power outage. Was
Yeah,
it
they were
overseas?
completely out of power. I forgot. It was like Italy or something like that.
Man.
Yeah, they couldn't use a transit system. They couldn't use nothing. They couldn't even be on their phones. Like there's just people like sleeping on the side of the street. Most of them are like tourist people because they're like, you don't really got nowhere to go. That's how powerful power is, huh? Like
Man.
electricity.
Yeah, I used to like look at videos from the ISS from outer space, and I think Vegas might be the most brightest spot on Earth, but it's because it's so much power being ran in that damn city, man. And you see spots in the world where it's like complete darkness, and it's just like, man, like if you look at America from space, the whole Midwest is straight black, man. So you got to look like either
Right.
East Coast, from New York all the way down to like Florida is bright. And then, of course, the West Coast would be, Oregon, Washington, and all that stuff. And then Cali, of course. But that whole Midwest is like straight darkness. And it just shows like, man, it is. See this motherfucker from space? That's a
That's
lot
where
of
they
light.
have all the Diddy parties.
In space?
No, in the Midwest.
Oh, the Midwest, because it's all dark.
And then you see like one dot. It happens to be like a Diddy resort or whatever.
A little Diddy farm.
Yeah, Diddy farm.
Diddy ranch.
Bob says Puerto Rico, they stay having no power from the past hurricane still.
Yes.
What's up with that? Is it because their grid is not strong?
It says no power. Oh no, from Hurricane Maria. So me and my mother-in-law, we were just talking about this the other day because she's Puerto Rican and she's talking about how even right now in Puerto Rico to this day, there's parts that still don't have power. And Maria was like what 6 years ago, I want to say. Oh, maybe even longer because I think that was back when Trump was president the first time when Maria hit. And throughout the years, and my dad went to Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria hit, and when he got there, he's like, oh, it was still messed up even years after Maria, and it's still, like no power. And then they've been asking for assistance in Puerto Rico for a while because they're like, hey, like we're a huge part of like the American economy when it comes to tourism. You should hook us up, help us. And well, they kind of being left to their own devices, and power's still out. I think they might be having like rolling blackouts now, where certain like how in certain countries they have like power on from like from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then from
North
5 p.m.
Korea is like that.
Yeah, it is cut off power for this to conserve energy. So I think they might be on that type of shit right now. Damn,
That's horrible.
Right? Because what if you're in a damn hospital? and you like on a ventilator or something? That's scary to me.
Or if you're in an elevator.
Right, man.
I mean,
what if you like
the 10th floor, like cut. You see the devil.
Oh man,
Because you're in Puerto
devil.
Rico, like the devil. They like showing up when shit happens.
Right. Check on
you see his big
check
ass
on their
tail.
work. Right, and a pitchfork
How you know I got a tail? It's your imagination.
in your mind. But yeah, Puerto Rico's they got a rough with the power situation, man. Still to this day, man, it's been a while.
Right. You got another story?
Actually, no, I only had that one story. To be honest, I had another story about space junk, but I think I deleted that shit.
Well, I have another story.
Yeah, my bad.
You guys like Taylor Swift?
I ain't got no beef with her. Sure.
Well, there's a human leg bone that was found nearby Taylor Swift Rhode Island home this week, sending shockwaves through like the whole social media, and authorities are investigating it. And the authorities said there's no foul play.
What?
Yeah, they're like, no foul play found. Like, blah, blah, blah. This is just something we just found randomly. But it's a human leg, dude.
Yep.
And where's the
Human
rest of
leg.
the body? And it was very close to her home, her mansion in Rhode Island.
Okay, so one of our homes. Damn, is she
Yeah.
eating people?
Who knows? But the authorities saying no foul play. I was like, you found a human leg. Can you do more investigation? Like,
So,
who are you?
even if
What the hell? No foul play? Like, something happened.
even if
Found
it's
on
not
her private property.
even if it's not Taylor Swift related, can we figure out who this poor person is? Like, Taylor Swift aside, can we give the family some closure who might be missing a loved one? Ah, that is what?
Right, that's
A whole
crazy.
leg?
All they found was like a whole leg, but nothing else. Like, where's the other rest of the body parts? That's weird, dude.
Bob says found on her private property.
Yeah, and
Wow.
the shit that gets me is when they said there's no foul play. Like, so, like, everybody's like just off the hook because they're like, yeah, it's a natural occurrence. People
Sorry,
get
guys.
like, they show up at people's properties from time to time. We're not gonna investigate it any further. I find that weird, dude.
They need to make sure she didn't do like, hey, meet a fan type of thing. Hey, you're a fan, come over to the house.
Yeah, who knows, dude? Celebrities, they play different, and it's all coming out now, especially with the whole Diddy thing,
Yeah,
the
well,
whole
like,
Diddy and Cassie thing. That shit is
That shit
crazy,
is-
and that's just like stage one. That's the first level. What's coming out right now?
yeah, that was awful, man. Because I every now and again, I haven't been keeping up with the Diddy situation too much. But every time I peek in to look like what's going on, it's always something awful. I'm like, golly, man, like what has this dude been up to all these damn years, man? Jesus.
Yeah, it gets worse and worse every time. Like you see what the hell they're talking about in court. I was like, whoa, that's what the hell they be doing out there, dude. Like it has to be like way more shit.
Yeah, man.
Way
what is it,
more.
Hollywood-
That's just like
Hollywood?
one person speaking about it.
Right? 'Cause I always imagine like this, because honestly, when you live in that type of lifestyle and you're a part of that world, you ain't like it's different rules. They got different shit compared to us. Like shit that we would get normally locked up for, they would probably just slap on the wrist or just cover it up and keep it on moving. They don't suffer the same penalties as normal people when they do wild shit. Until it gets too big, like this whole Diddy thing. They got too out of control. Because this whole Diddy thing, if I've gone back and like some people have shared clips from like TV shows within the black community from back in the 90s and early 2000s of people cracking jokes about these damn Diddy parties. And it's like, back then you didn't think too much of it. You thought it was like, white party or some shit like that. But it's like, oh, it was like everybody getting lathered up in baby oil. And it's not as fancy as we always made it seem like it was, but it seemed like it was an inside joke with people that was a part of that community. Because I see like the Wayans brothers even cracked jokes about it back then in the early 2000s in some of their movies. And it's like, this has always been like this kept secret in the community that never reached our ears until recently. And it's horrifying.
Yeah, I think it's only gonna get worse. I think all the celebrities that attended those parties, they're all on their toes right now. They're all on their tippity toes right now because they're like, holy shit! Wait till they get to them next, 'cause
Where's my lawyer? I got my lawyer on retain right now.
yeah, they're probably all scared right now.
I would be.
So they should be, yeah. You're
I
involved
would
in all that weird shit.
be. That's like same thing with Epstein stuff, man. I'm like, man, them names are dropping. I'm like, oh, see, this shit always comes to light, man. It always does.
I
Money
think
can only
now's the
protect-
time for all that shit. Because if you're seeing all these UFOs in the sky now where you can't explain no more, you can say AI all you want. Like, a lot of it looks crazy, dude. And there's a whole lot of UFO shit now. All that is coming out, and the Congress is talking about all this UFO stuff now. And then people that's working on the inside talking about aliens and stuff, dude. If
Man,
you're
I
doing
think
like
what-
weird shit like what Diddy's doing, you're not safe at all. Everything is coming out. All of it.
Man, from the Epstein to the Weinsteins with his shit. But
Yeah,
Weinstein
all
walked,
of it.
man.
Epstein, Weinstein, Alien, all of
Alien.
that. It's all coming out.
Crazy,
It's a
man.
cleansing. A cleansing is happening, right? It's like a earth cleanse.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
and
happening. It's happening like in a big ass wave. It's just gonna cleanse everything. And I don't know what's the outcome of that, but the cleanse is happening, dude.
And a lot of it comes to like people coming forward about these things, man. It's like with the whole, like we all knew about Diddy having these parties, whatever, but it wasn't until like the whole Cassie thing where that video came out where he was like whipping her ass down the hallway. Then it was kind of like, oh, this is an awful situation, and then it blew up to even something even bigger. So it's like, Jesus, man, and how long has this been going on? How many people? Because Diddy's always had a history of being awful to like a lot of people that worked under him, anyways. And he's not the only one in the industry that's done that as well, too. Not wanting to pay artists or whatever. But it's like, these people have never had a like behind the scenes have had a good track record of being a decent person, anyways. So it's kind of like when this shit hits the fan, it's like, oh, you know what? Kind of saw this coming, man. He always been he's never been a good person. So
maybe when he was a kid.
Maybe, but I'm like an old school Diddy hater, man. I used to think he took out Biggie, so I go way back with Diddy. He's always been kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So.
Isn't that like the word on the street? Like he didn't actually do it, but he paid somebody to do it.
That was the rumor I heard way back when, man. Back even when I was a teenager, I was like, And then I started watching Making a Band, and I saw how he treated them people, making them walk like all the miles for like a damn.
The dude that did it, and then I think it's already. I don't know. He already like. Talked about that.
Oh, the one that so there's another situation. There was a guy that killed Tupac. They finally locked his ass up, I think. Or was it Biggie? Oh,
the Tupac guy, yeah.
Yeah, the one that killed Tupac. They finally got his ass like 30-something years later. Finally got his ass. So they say. They say it's him, so I don't know.
Well, he say it's him.
Yeah, and I think he said he did it too.
I was like, yeah, I did it.
I ain't gonna say that Diddy made.
I was paid by Diddy.
Right, so he can't say that part.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for this. Taylor Swift.
That's crazy. That's insane. I didn't even that story went under the radar for me. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, it's like
a damn leg.
Yeah, no foul play. That's why it didn't like blow up. But yeah, it's a random ass leg.
The PR team swept that shit under the rug quick.
Yeah, they like clean that shit up.
Literally.
You better tell the official that shit was no foul play. Like that shit was random.
Her PR team was probably like, Taylor, where's the rest of the body? Okay, cool. You ate it
like
all.
You're good now. Cool. Nobody's talking about it. Maybe a small podcast talking about it, but there no big news.
All right, some little guys talking about it.
Bob says, but then there's a guy on Instagram that looks exactly like Tupac. Everybody has a twin.
Actually, they came out with Tupac movies like 5-6 years ago, and then like the guy that played Tupac in the movie looks exactly like him.
Yeah,
he can't act for shit, but he looks just like him. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
I think if you could try hard enough, any black dude could look like Tupac. Just shave the head, unless you got a weird alien head. But
little nose ring, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Get some little thick eyebrows. You good?
Mm-hmm. Machiavelli.
There you go.
All right, that's all I got for this. So are we gonna continue on this Tuesday for next week until further notice?
Good, man. So like I do start classes again on like July 21st. Like July for me is gonna be like end of July is gonna get kind of muddy for me. I might have to skip like a week or so, a week maybe 2 weeks. Cause I'm gonna be back out in Georgia because I got the bachelor's party, which of course you'll be there. And then
I didn't know about that, but I'll be there.
Okay. But yeah, so I'll be out there in July for like a lot of shit going on. So I might be busy then. But school wise, so my classes
like
middle July and end of July. I gotta go to Florida because my cousin got a house out there, and she lives in Jacksonville. I'm gonna check that shit out.
End of July, I won't be available.
Yeah, I might get a little busy then, but
middle of July is the bachelor party.
Yeah, the 19th, July 19th.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be that. I thought he was in a group chat or some shit, but I don't know, I guess not. And then, but my classes so far will be Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Tuesdays is.
So Tuesday's still open.
So Tuesday will still be open, yes.
There you
I'll
go.
see how badly Mondays whip my ass with school, and I'll go from there. But as long as I don't have school on the same day as the podcast day, I'm good. That's usually how it
Yeah,
Man, it was rough when I was doing it.
Yeah, you're okay. You're okay.
So we might be good. We should be good.
All right, guys. We'll catch you guys next week on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Peace out. Adios.
See you guys.